Okay. So, good afternoon to all of you. I'm starting the session. Okay. Today we'll discuss from eighth chapter to from seventh chapter to 10th chapter. So, what is the seventh chapter is on website. Introduction to a website, web designing, writing for the web, DVD formats, regional codes, search engines, and measures the effectiveness of cyber media in communication. Impact of technology and process of communication. We'll discuss these things in the seventh chapter. To start with, what is website? And this website, a website also is known as web and site. Like simply a site is a collection of web pages. There are many websites available on the internet and they target various types of users. The purpose of a website may be to provide information, conduct an online business, a search engine, or for a personal reasons like a book. So to view web page, you need a software application called a web browser. Microsoft Internet Explorer, Mozilla, Firefox, Google Chrome are examples of popular browsers. We all know, like we all even use these things. If I were to have some company sort of thing, I should have a website for it, so that the people may view it and know about me. So that is a place, it's a platform where what I do is put in that and which will be known to all others. So that's a platform. So one should develop that to educate public about the person who is doing some business. It's a platform or it is a bridge, you can say. So a web server is a computer or a combination of software and a hardware that holds the web pages of one or more websites. Holding web pages on a web server is called web hosting. A request for certain is sent from a web browser through the internet or a network and reaches the associated web server. The web server processes the request and sends the response to the web browser through the internet or the network. Typically, a website may be hosted on more than one web server across the globe. This improves the speed of responses from a website. This also ensures that web pages are available all the time, even though a particular web server may have failed or at some location. The word, what is www? We always see it. We always type www dot some name we type. What do you mean by the www? www, the three W's are a World Wide Web. Okay, a collection of publicly available web pages. Often people confuse the internet with the www, also called the web. So internet is a collection of interconnected computer networks. The web is a collection of information that is presented in various formats. Therefore, the web is an application on the internet. Accessing various web pages is called browsing or web surfing. We see in www. I see something and I open the Google, I search for something, I know something. This is all is like web surfing, which is called as web surfing. That is about www. Next comes is HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Is a protocol used by the web. It specifies how information must be formatted, transferred from the web server to the web browser on the internet. A website is identified on the network using an internet address known as a uniform resource locator, that is URL. If I ask somebody, just provide me URL so that I can view the URL information we say. So what is URL is uniform resource locator. So the URL of a web page uniquely identifies it on the internet or the private network. The URL is also called the web address of the web page. Okay. So a web page contains information which is formatted using languages such as hypertext markup language, that is HTML, or extensible hypertext markup language, that is XHTML. Okay. Its website also contains information presented in different formats. For example, information can be presented in text, graphics, videos, and so on. These formats are combined together to provide useful information to the user. Website can be a static or interactive. Static is it will not react. It will only tell what I want. If it is interactive, means if I ask some question, it gives me the. When it is in the two-way format. Okay, so it can be both. It can be static. It can be interactive also. Website information present in different formats. Okay. For examples, information can be presented text, graphics, videos, and so on. These formats are combined together, provide useful information to the user. Website, that's what. A static website provides fixed information and there is very little interaction with the user. An interactive website allows its user to interact with the website owner. The users may be allowed to comment or edit the contents of its website. Following are types of websites. Business or corporate website. These websites help large corporates or small businesses to create an online presence. This helps to promote their business. Next is e-commerce website. Many businesses offer their products online, like Amazon and all stuff. Online businesses are very popular. It is cheaper to set up an online business than set up a shop in the real world. Will be saving on the real estate expenses. You need not have an office and need not pay a rent and all. All those can be avoided if you have an online shop. So informational website is the next one. What does it do? All the news networks are available online. These websites help users to receive news as it happens. So day-to-day, minute-to-minute news are all fed in this. So we will get some information out of it. Personal website. Personal website is you create a website for your personal use. You can voice your opinions, share your thoughts, exchange ideas with your peers, like I having a YouTube channel, like that. So this comes under your personal website. Photo sharing websites. Photo sharing websites there are many websites that let share your photos online. They provide you with huge amounts of data so that you can store and share your pictures with friends, families. The examples are Yahoo Flickrs, Google are examples for such websites. See, in Google, I can share Google Photos. And so also in Yahoo Flickrs, I can share photos with my friends, colleagues who are staying abroad. All such things we can do. So that way also we can use a website. So communities or forums is the next thing, where users who have a common interest can form communities or forums. In these forums, they can share their ideas, knowledge, and exchange thoughts regarding topics of their interest. This is here, who is the group, who are the communities is the people who come together with a common interest will form this group. Okay, next is a mobile device websites. Mobile device websites is many users prefer to browse the web on their mobile phones and handheld devices like a tablet. All businesses have started creating mobile websites. You can access a website on your mobile device using a mobile web browser like Safari, or you have the related app. See, if I have a mobile, I can go to Google, I can go to Safari. These are all search engines wherein I can click and get the details within a click of button and know the world, what is happening around me. Okay, that is a mobile device website. Website design. For this is all like website. Then how we have to design the website is the second thing. So a website attracts users with the content in it and the way the information is presented. Website design refers to the way the information is presented to the user. The design of the website must be visually appealing. Who will view our website if it is not attracting? It should be eye-catching. It should it should tell. We all know a simple saying, if we say one word, it only we are communicating one word, but with picture we can communicate 100 words. See, similarly, if we have proper videos in place and we are making a content with that video, it should be eye-catching and it should convey a lot of meaning than writing just text of 2 or 3 lines. So in such a way, those things are to be kept in mind while designing a website. The homepage of the website must be a very useful starting point. The viewer must identify what your site is about. Just by glancing at the layout, the purpose of your website must be clearly visible to the user. As you all know, like what all websites have: about home, about us, and the works we do, and what if it is some example, if I say some some corporate company it is, some software company it is, then what do the website contain? It contains homepage, as said. About us means all the management and all, and what they are into. And about the next is information, what they are going to give it to the public, in what way it is useful, in what way it will cater to the needs of the public. Those are all given in the information thing. And feedback is also there. So these things are all there as a subheads, and under these we have to fill the content, and this content should be eye-catching. So next is CSS, Cascading Style Sheets. You define how the HTML pages must look. CSS helps you to separate the look and feel of the website from the content. So while writing the content, you do not have to worry about the design and rendering aspects of the website. And while designing, you can focus only on the design and not on the content. According to Webopedia, that is a script language is a high-level programming language that is interpreted by another program at runtime rather than compiled by the computer processes as other programming. This is all a computer language, what goes in to get a good website design. Okay, next is a web template. And if you do not want to design a website from scratch, you can use a web template, like taking from some other websites. When you use a web template, you do not have to worry about the layout because it's already it's ready-made. Only you have to write this text and you have to put some graphs in it. Have a worry about the layout, fonts, frames, graphics, or the color schemes of your website. All these elements of design are taken care of in the template. You do not have to be a professional web page designer to work with a web template. Web template is there. You need not worry much about it. It is ready-made. Okay, web template is a pre-designed web page, but it does not contain any content. You only have to fill the content in it. You can later customize the web template using the simple text editor. Add images, links, and other web pages. Next is the blogs. If you do not want to bother with the designing and posting a website, but you want you to own a website, you can create a weblog. Blog is a short form of a weblog. Usually blogs are used for personal usage or by non-profit organization. Bloggers, WordPress, Typepad are a few examples of such blogs, where you can write a space for yourself free of charge. And these blogs give you the flexibility to customize and look of the website. You can customize the website or reflect your personality or the information that you are trying to propagate. Next, what to write? Writing for the web. How should I write for the web? So after designing a beautiful website, the content of the website must be interesting enough to attract users. Writing for the web is not the same as writing for printed material. Yes, that's where the challenge comes. So reading information on a computer screen strains your eyes. Therefore, the website must be designed well and must provide just right amount of information that your user may need. Not just like beating, I should say it is like beating around the bush only, but in-depth is not required, but in one line it should convey a lot of meaning. If they want to know more about the subject, use the hypertextuality links and they'll go into it and they read. So, but in a print media, you have to write each and everything. There is no column of hypertextuality to click and go see what has happened and all stuff. What is there before eyes, we read. If it is not there, we don't read. So like all forms of writing, you have to write for the web after analyzing your audience and understanding the needs of your customers. Begin with the audience analysis. This can be done by answering 5 Ws and 1 H, which are the fundamentals for any of the journalism student to write an article or a blog or a byline. One should know this. One should keep in mind these 5 Ws and 1 H while drafting a write-up. Who will be reading my content? This includes the type of demographics of your audience and what is their background, what are their opinions and biases about the topic. What will they be expecting from my content? What is their level of expertise? What do they already know about the topic? Where will they be reading it? Will they be reading my content at home, in leisure, or rush through the information in an office or while commuting? When do they need my content? Will they look for my content when they troubleshoot a problem? How will they be reading my content? So 5 Ws and 1 H. Who, what, where, when, and how are to be taken care. So they can, the way you write for an experienced user is different from the way you write for an experienced user. Similarly, the age group or the background of your audience matters too. The examples and the analogs that you will be using for each group must be different. It should not be the same again and again. Use it for different. Based on the target audience, you should change the examples to reach them. So peculiarities of writing for the web page. You must understand the peculiarities for writing for the web. The behavior of the web audience is not the same as the behavior of print audience. Web audience tend to scan through content rather than reading through the information. They'll not go in depth. They just, this superficial reading is only happening in your web thing. So they need to read only what they want, and their needs are different also. So what few tips are to be kept in mind while writing in the web page. What is that? Use short sentences. Use simple language so that it can be understood by all types of users. Write in inverted pyramid format. That is, write your conclusions first, then explain your point. First, write the gist of the story, what you are trying to explain, then explain the story. So use lists instead of paragraphs. Organize your information in bulleted lists and numbered lists. So just write 1, 2, 3 bullets. Just don't write big paragraphs. Okay. Include subheading in your content. 1, 2 lines should have some subheadings. The subheading will again catch your eye. So what it is. Under that, like under main heading, subheading should also be added. Okay, links in your web page must match the content in those pages. I say my story is on Golconda and I give a link of some other Charminar. That should not happen. If I am writing about Golconda, and my link should also go and click onto Golconda history only. So that should also be kept in mind while writing. So organize your information into a frequently asked questions, that is FAQs format. And FAQs make information scannable. So a few people want to know like what question I want. So for this question, what would be the answer? So in that manner also, you have to frame FAQs. Okay. So incorporate search engine optimizations techniques while writing for your website to increase the traffic. Adopting these techniques will help your website find new visitors who are directed from search engines. These tips are listed in the search engine selections of the parts of your website. A website can contain many number of web pages. That is home page, about us page, as I told, contact us page. So a web content management system is a software that helps your author for the web, the administrator while your website. It may help you collaborate with other writers or administrators of your website. It does not require advanced knowledge of web programming language. It helps you create and maintain the content on your website. Okay, next is a webinar. What is a webinar? According to Merriam-Webster, a webinar, a live online educational presentation during which participating viewers can submit questions and comments. So it is interactive session which is happening online is a webinar. Webinar is a short for a web-based seminar. It may be a presentation, seminar, a lecture, or a workshop that is available on the internet. So a webcast is a presentation that is telecasted on a web. A webcast is not the same as a webinar. What is webcast and what is webinar? A webinar is an interactive, but webcast is one-way communication. So if the other party is not responding to this, it is only a person who is speaking will go on speak and the others will not answer or take the questions. It is a webcast. When a webinar, both ways it will happen. I talk, you talk. Okay. The audience and the presenters do not interact on the webcast. The following are the types of webinars. What are types of webinars? To connect with customers, to discuss the latest in technology with your peers, to receive feedback from customers, to connect with partners or resellers, to educate or spread awareness. You can use webinars as a platform, promote your product or service. Okay, like to launch a product, for presenting to a set of potential buyers, promoting online training. So these things can be done using a webinar. There are many software products in the market that help you conduct webinars. So there are also software products which will help us to conduct these webinars. Following factors will help you select a product that will meet your requirements: size of your audience, kind of presentation, reuse of webinar or as a marketing material, and your budget. Next is the DVD. DVD is an optical disc storage device. DVD stands for digital video disc or a digital versatile disc. DVD can hold more than 4 times as much data as CD. So is a higher form of a CD is a DVD, which holds a lot of data. Okay, store some 4.7 gigabytes of data is on one side. It is enough to record 133 minutes video. So with 2 layers on each side, it can store up to 17 gigabytes of video, audio, or other information. It is now the most common storage media to distribute games, videos, and softwares. DVD was introduced in the month of November in the year 1995, and it was available to the world in the year 1997. The providers were Philips, Sony, Toshiba jointly held the license, and Matsuya was the company mainly responsible for the development of DVD. Philips, one of the first companies to make CD players, was also the first to make DVD players. The invention of DVD, however, cannot be attributed to any one company because it is the effect of many companies. So the DVD formats are again various types of DVD formats: DVD-R, DVD-RDL, DVD-RW, DVD-RW, DVD-R. What is DVD-R is the most commonly used recordable DVD format that is used by the computer DVD writers as well as the most DVD recorders. So R is a recorder. DVD-RDL is a record once format that is similar to DVD-R. It records, but it has 2 layers. It is the DVD-RDL. Next is DVD-RW. RW indicates the DVD is of a recordable and rewritable format. We can even make some changes to this, which is a DVD-RW. DVD plus RW means RW indicates that the DVD is of a recordable and rewritable format. It is promoted by Philips, Yamaha. These are the companies who have promoted this. Next is DVD plus R. This format is a record once format. It was introduced and backed by Philips and other supporters of DVD plus RW. So these are all various forms of DVD. Okay. Next comes is a regional code. What is regional code? Digital rights management is DRM techniques used as DVDs is the application of regional code. DVD players have a regional code logged in them, and they can play only those DVDs which contain the same regional code or no code at all. In America, DVD players manufacturers are required to use regional codes. These codes are for following film distributors to control the release, the contents of the DVD, release date, the price according to the region. So if they have regional codes, means the DVD will have some region-specific things in it. So example, Telangana, they have given America, but region Telangana will have some price, Andhra will have some price like that. So to keep you all those things, they have some regional codes designed for these DVD things. So to control the release, the contents of DVD, release dates, price according to the region. There are 8 regional codes. A DVD can use one code, multiple codes, all codes, or no codes. It is up to them. Next comes is search engines. What are search engines? You are Google, Bing, Yahoo. These are all search engines. Search engine is a setup of program that lets you look for information on the internet. Examples of search engines are Google, Bing, Yahoo, Alta Vista, and so on. Search engines, there are many types of what for these search engines are available today. They are there to search. Some search engines lets you search from a number of search engines and displays the results in a list. Dogpile and Yahoo are examples of such search engines. Large corporate websites lets the users to search for information within their website. Some search engines are for certain topics. These search engines browse and index web pages for certain topic. For example, bookhitch.com is a search engine for books. So there are again in that there are a few things to search books, to search videos, to search specific information-wise specific things are also there. So some search engines lets you use natural language instead of keywords for searching. For example, you can search for the meaning of journalism by typing what is journalism instead of the keyword journalism. So it's an example of a natural language search engine. You can search using an image instead of a keyword. You can upload an image or type the URL of an image and search engine displays. Similarly, the Google Images search engine contains this feature. So search engine contains following components. What is it? A spider is also called as a crawler. A spider reads every page in the website that must be included in the search results. This action of a spider is called crawling the web pages. It browses the internet for website. It uses the hypertext links on the pages to navigate and read other pages on the website. So a program that creates an index from all the pages that have crawled. Program that accepts such requests and compares them with the entries in the index, the program that returns a set of web pages that matches the search request. Example, if I write something, some company name in the Google and I text and send okay, then it will search a similar names will all come down. So if I'm not specific, so many things that means like with the same name, it is searching and giving you a list, indexing you to see. So next is a search engine algorithms. Every search engine uses different algorithms to match web pages to a specific search request. A search engine algorithms is a set of rules that a search engine uses to determine the significance of a web page. These rules also determine whether a web page is a real or just a spam. There are many spams. Spam is something which is not correct and which is rubbish. It tries to evaluate whether the web page contains any significant information that people would be interested in. And what is search engine optimization? A good understanding of the most common search engine algorithms helps you improve the ranking of your website in the search results. This process of improving the visibility of your website in the search results is called search engine optimization. Web page appearance in the search results must be unpaid. Okay. The location of the keyword is an important factor. Web pages that have the keywords in the title as well as within the headline have a higher probability of appearing in the top of the search. Just now I said, if I give a name of some company, all the list will be displayed. That is what it is saying. So the frequency of the keywords also is important. If the keyword appears frequently, the website will rank better, but the keywords must not be repeated unnecessarily. Repeating a keyword in the content of a web page to increase the page ranking is called keyword stuffing. So link building is a technique used to increase the traffic on the web page, thus increasing the page rank of the web page. Link building is a process of linking your web page from other web pages. So these are all about your website, designing for website, usage of DVDs, CDs, and all search engines and all. Now, measuring the effectiveness of these in communication. With the advent of cyber media or social media, the scope communication has widened. Everyone can now start or reinvent message regarding an organization. It was never easy to control these messages. And now with the use of social media, it has become impossible. But the advantage of using social media is that it is now easier to measure and quantify the effectiveness of public relations. There is a huge web data available and there are many number of tools to track the data. What are the 6 principles one should have to effectively measure the communication are in a social media can be measured are according to AM International Association for the Measurement and Evaluation of Communication is the definition of social media channels. Paid, including sponsored tweets, Facebook ads, paid SEOs, coupons, and so on. Owned, including company website, hosted online communities, brand pages and social networks, branded YouTube channels, and so on. Earned, including third-party discussions on social networks, comments on sites, branded pages, retweets by third parties, consumer-generated videos, and so on. To be considered social, the channel must allow a dialogue or have a collaboration tools. And the appropriate channels for these are blogs, social networking such as Facebook, Google Plus, LinkedIn, microblogs such as Twitter, video and image sharing sites, for example, like YouTube, Vimeo, Flickr, Picasso, social bookmarking aggregators, for example, Dig, Reddit, and so on, podcasts and other audio postings and sharing sites, forums, message board, and so on and so forth. So, what are the directives and what you have to keep in mind to measure the effectiveness is uh, there is no measure actually, but the worth of Facebook followers, there are many likes and if there are many comments in a positive manner, that is the worth that your message is properly propagated to the other parties. The social media measurement success stands or falls on a quality of content analyzed, information to be made explicit. What content is included from which channel, depth of scrapping, whether data is captured and stored or just streamed. If content is stored, how long the content is to be stored, multilingual capture, and whether native language queries are used, translation software is used. Likewise, so many are there. Now comes impact of technology on the process of communication. What is the impact? Is it positive or negative? If it is positive, what are the barriers? And all those we'll discuss in this. Taking a daily routine of a person in this tech-savvy world, the day begins with a good morning message on social networking sites and ends with good night on the same website. The social networking sites are a world in themselves, like a virtual world. There is an incessant use of mobiles and internet for communication the whole day. To make the process quick and easy, there are modes like emails, teleconferencing, video conferencing, networking sites, etc. Among other tools, mobiles, emails, social networking sites are the most popular means of communication among the current generation. So, what is the positive impact of this? Technology has transformed the one big and far world into a tiny global village. Because wherever you are in the world, you can the ping, you can communicate, you can talk, you can see your peers, your colleagues, your friends, your family. So thanks to technology for this. We now have the power to communicate with anybody on the other side of the world. The points below summarize no barriers. So communication is now easy. In case of situation where you want to convey something urgently or someone, mobiles, emails can be handy. Strengthened relations. Technology has made it easy to keep in touch with old contacts and has also helped strengthen relations. Better solutions. Technology has brought the world closer and promoted exchange of thoughts to find better solutions to any problem. E-schools. Services like video conferencing has made it possible to give best education to students via expert faculty on the web. Impact on relations. Finding someone to data was never so easy, thanks to dating and chatting websites. No one would disagree if I say technology is a rational. There's a rationale behind the success of long, distant relationships. Video chats, social networking sites have played a big role in keeping people in touch. That's what I said. Somewhere in the world, I have my friend. I can view it in a video and I can chat with them. With that, I can impact any relation. Okay. Next is a development. Development is technological advancements in the modes of communication have promoted faster decision making and led to the development and progress of the world. Video conferencing has played a considerate role in promoting faster decision making. Most of the businesses depend on technology for communication. These are all positive impact of technology. Okay. Now comes is the negative impact. What is how? How is the negative? How it is negative? The most prominent negative effect of communication is the charm of good old world is missing. We are not sitting next to each other and chatting. We are not seeing the faces physically. We are not feeling that because they are far away. Okay. The letters, the lengthy face-to-face conversations have gone away and have been replaced by texting, chatting. So impact on interpersonal communication. The current generation lacks essential interpersonal skills, the ability to express the idea, thoughts to others face to face. Major reason for this tendency is increased frequency of communication through texting and chatting on website. Next is effect on non-verbal communication. Technological means have also affected non-verbal communication. Lack of face-to-face interaction has reduced the non-verbal grasping power of individuals. Like if I can make faces, if my friend is next to me, I can make faces and let her or him know, like I'm sad or angry or what, with non-verbal thing. But now there are no such things. Okay, that is gone. Near yet far. Teenagers especially are always hooked at a social networking site. They are closer to online friends, but the gap between parents and kids has increased considerably. Communication is missing. Parents are not technology savvy and not used to the communication styles of their kids. This has increased the generation gap. Though the parents and kids are in the same home and under the same roof, but the world of both are different. The teenagers are busy chatting with the friends and all stuff. They don't even have the time to speak to the parents, and they say like, "Oh no, I am busy chatting with my friend or busy chatting with my GFP, whatever it is." So that is near but far. Reduced social interactions. Consider the socializing among people. Life has changed a lot. There is no social meeting, get together. Thanks to Corona, it is added to this. And the frequency has reduced. People are more bothered about their online life rather than real social life. Okay. Next is has led to many addictions. Now people are more addicted, I should say, even irrespective of the generations, be small, big, and elderly, all are addicted to the phones. All are addicted to your websites. All are addicted to others' YouTube channels. So people have literally become addicted to the internet and cell phones. And this addiction has led to many anxiety disorders. People addicted to internet feel lonely and isolated. Though there are 100 people around them, there is no internet connection. They feel that they are alone. The loneliness is felt because that much is the addiction of the internet in this time. So malicious motives. Many people abuse the social networking sites and communicate to unsuspecting being pretending someone else. This tendency of people has done more harm than good. So malicious motives are also conveyed more, and which is giving a negative impact rather than promoting any positive motives. This is all about the impact of the web page, the internet and search engines and the technology in the process of communication. So to summarize what all we have discussed in this chapter is about websites, about web designing, about how it is useful, the good and the bad of having this now. Okay. Then if we get on to like what questions will be asked in this chapter are, explain the impact of technology in the process of communication, or explain the role of search engines and explain search engine algorithms and SEOs will be the questions asked in this chapter as such. Okay. And also what is website? Briefly examine the various types of websites. Next chapter, if we get into is journals. So what is a journal and what is online newsletter, advantages of online newsletters, e-journals, writing for e-journals, internet emailing, compiling on internet emailing, internet security issues, cyber laws. Let us discuss all these things in this chapter, which is 8. One of the most important activities of a journalist or a public relation professional is preparation of a written, visual, or audio material intended for disseminating through public media with reference to a variety of matters or ongoing events of public concern. It is humanly impossible to have thorough knowledge of all human activities and specialization is called for in a certain subject. It's therefore imperative that some journalists focus on specializing a particular subject, say on defense, on strategic affairs, economics, internet relations, example. Naturally, in any discipline, the specialization is there now. Even in doctors, we see specialization, organ-specific specialization is there even in doctors. So also in a journalist. So it is specific so that they can know in and out of that area. Okay. So what it is, a specialization on affairs, social affairs, economical affairs, international affairs, so on and so forth. Specialization obviously demands access to information about the subject being specialized, and this in turn requires access to information sources that are authoritative, authentic, and thoroughly informative. Journals come handy here, and regular subscription to them is a common practice among journalists who are specialist writers and subject matter experts. Journals are newspapers or academic magazines that are published at regular intervals and deal with particular subject or professional activity. They contain articles written by experts in their respective areas or by professionals who acquired expertise by practicing a profession over a period of time or by a research. Journal articles are therefore written for experts or students of a particular field who have an advanced field-specific vocabulary and knowledge. So only experts will subscribe it or write it. So it is like expert wise, the journal will be. So before the internet entered the world stage, journals were totally confined to print media, and the internet was ushered in journals in digital formats, e-journals now, like papers, these are e-journals. And now they are available both ways. Electronic journals can be accessed by electronic transmissions. One of the easiest ways for a company to reach its people is mailing its online newsletters or sending any other information online, is to have emailing list, a collection of email addresses of the employees, management, customers, prospective customers in the form of emailing list makes the task reaching them through emails easy and hassle. Since the presence of computer and dealing with networking inevitable for all online activities, it is very important to take care of their security, particularly the safety of software that runs on them. Okay. So for that, it is therefore very essential to make them immune to attacks from harmful viruses, worms, etc., which will be overcome by installation of a firewalls, antivirus softwares, and other security mechanisms. Next is website and internal communications. So internal communication is said to play a vital role for the employees of the organization, and it produces better results. If used effectively at all levels within the organization, it can be led to an organization's success also. Yes, communication plays a vital role in any field. So also in an organization, if your top management communicates things and if it reaches the employees in the sense what they want to communicate, then the growth of a company is inevitable. So for that, the internal communication is must and it should be even proper. So effective internal communication strategy within the organization can make an employee act as a marketers to the outside world, and where they spread the company's name among their social circle, like friends, family, relatives, shareholders, example, etc. So organizations should use internal PR effectively so that it can help make the employees become brand ambassadors and build their brand in the market. So in order to enhance and develop successful communication, internal communicators must possess an understanding of the organization goals, business strategies, customer service, and the communication process. That understanding is then conveyed through every department of an organization through traditional means like memos, emails, newsletters, but also in today's cyberactive business world through social media channels, websites, YouTubes, and other online channels like intranet. Intranet is the one which is used mostly in the same organization to interact with each other employees. Once employees have a clear understanding of the organization goals, products and services, they are better prepared and equipped to represent the company's name and reputation when directly communicating with the customers. So role of a website in internal communication will be useful and will come into existence. One of the means through which internal communication was carried out was a house journal. It's like when the company can have its own a magazine sort of thing, wherein it will write if some marketing person has done a good business, he can write on that. In that magazine, one page will be allocated to that person, like he has what achievements he has done, which will be like a boosting for others who read it and think that they should, his name also should figure, or his a photo should also come on the page. With that into he works and gets the things done for him. So such ways which can happen through a house journal. So another is a periodic addresses of a top management to all the group of employees. Both have limitations if a company is spatially distributed or if the size of the employees is large. Sending a house journal can be a time consuming, expensive, and addressing or communicating with a geographically diffused audience. The same time from the fixed location is very difficult, if not impossible. However, communicating with employees cannot be done away with, as it is very essential and effective answer for this is a website hosted on the internet. See, house journals are like it is a printed form of of knowing the achievements of the employer peers to the other peers. But this will take some time to move because if the company is very big, like Infosys, I say, Infosys has got a number of branches. It's spread in a huge, in a massive manner. So this home journal is of less effective. Means it is time consuming, not less effective, but it is time consuming. To overcome that, this website hosted intranet can be used, with wherein like you can post the message, you can post the achievement, you can post the drawback, whatever you want to communicate. Communication happens just in no time. So an intranet is an internet not connected with any other network and confined solely to the company, as I said, only to that company only. Infosys employees only can access or talk or do what with each other by using an intranet. Wipro cannot access or XYZ cannot access. So the intranet is shielded from the public networkings and therefore the information stored here cannot be leaked out or accessed by non-company member. Okay, role of intranet. The information about the company's activities, which are divisions or sections deal with, what type of matters, what are the hierarchies, how can be communicated must be widely known. This information can be put on company's internal website hosted on the internet. Everybody may not have a PC, but some PCs with the limited functions can be installed in the company's premises, like employees' library, cafeteria, reception room, or employees can be given the user ID so that they can log in at the time of their convenience and access company's website and then gain information. It's all about intranet, website, and internal communication. Next is online newsletters. What is online newsletter? An online newsletter, also known as an email newsletter or e-news, is an electronic magazine or electronic version of a paper-based newsletter delivered via emails or published on the web. It is normally aimed at a selective audience and deals with the narrow subject matters and the time circulated within an organization. Usually it is published at regular intervals. The select audience are interested people, maybe potential buyers of a product or a service or employees of the company or members of an organization like charities, environmental groups, political leaders, etc. So online newsletter can be subscribed to online, can be distributed online, and they let readers know what to expect from the company or the organization in the upcoming months. What are the advantages of online newsletters? Unlike hard copy newsletters, online newsletters are easy to read and offer readers links to websites and other interesting material. Since it arrives in the reader's email inbox, the chances of someone missing the letter due it being misplaced by a postman or being delivered to at the wrong address is very less because it is online. You can view, it will be there. You cannot erase it. If it is a print form, there are chances of missing, they are going to wrong address or missing the post. The company can rest assured that it reaches the intended person. So the company who is posting this newsletters to its employees can be rest assured because it knows it has reached. It is not in the physical form, it is in the form of online thing, it will definitely reach. So the other person cannot say, I have not received it. Online newsletter is not only a tool for communicating with a group of interested people, but it also engages their attention and strengthening their loyalty and commitment of the company or the group or the organization to which they belong. So they are the boosters. Online newsletters save postage or paper for printing. Readers of the online newsletters can respond with an order to buy from the company if they find something that interests them in the newsletter, or in the case of an employee, it can be a source to bring forward his views or opinions or grievances. Online newsletters are definitely a high-powered, easy-to-use tool for bringing together buyers or members of an organization or employees of a company, and they can act as an interface between various stakeholders of the company or the members of an organization. Online newsletters are a phenomenon of the internet, and they are essential for the success of the company. These newsletters are used to inform the employees and also as marketing tool designed to get more clients and more businesses. Next is your e-journals. An e-journal is, as we just talked about, it is an electronic journal. Is a periodical publication which is published in electronic format, usually also known as electronic serials. They are scholarly journals or intellectual magazines that aim at providing material for academic research and study. They're formatted approximately like journal articles in traditional printed journals. Some electronic journals are online-only journals. Some are online versions of printed journals and are also available on a CD, and some consist of online equivalent of printed journals, but with additional online-only material like video, interactive media. So electronic journals have several advantages over traditional printed journals. What are they? We can search the content pages and our full text of journals to find articles on a certain subject. Electronic journals provide publishers and readers an opportunity for wider dissemination of knowledge than previously possible through print publication. Electronic journals can incorporate features and improve on or go beyond the features that have traditionally been available in print publications, like images and audio-visual. Audio-visual is a plus point here, okay? Not only visual. So we can read journal articles on your desktop and don't have to be in a library. So the article that we want to read will always be available even when the library is closed, and it can also be emailed by the reader to himself or downloaded for printing. Hypertext links allow you to move to different sections within individual journal or articles that can link you to related resource on the internet. But there are few disadvantages also in this, and what are they? Access to them may be temporarily unavailable due to technical reasons. If there is no power, there is no net, no mobile connectivity, and that's mobile data interruption and all stuff, we cannot. So technical reasons like network breakdown or virus attacks, etc. So users should keep their browsers and their multimedia software up to date to access all the features of the journal, and they should keep their web applications in pace with the latest web technologies. Especially skilled manpower is needed to manage e-journals. Authentication or the originality of the content can be a problem. These are the disadvantages of an e-journal. Next is writing for e-journal. Just like a print counterpart, e-journal authors should keep in mind that they are still writing text, and the same care and consideration to write clearly and concisely, free from grammatical errors, paying attention to overall aesthetic of an article, and to editor comments is needed for an electronic journal articles as well. So how we do it in a printed form, same care to be taken even for e-journals. In addition to that, electronic features such as hyperlinks, graphics, sounds are normally an integral part of a journal should be related to and not be distraction from the points raised in the article. So these are also to be taken care. In addition to what care we take in print media, we should also think of the hypertext, way to insert, in correct way only we should insert, and all those things we should keep in mind. So hypertext links. Hypertext link is a text displayed on a computer display or the other electronic device with references to other text, which the reader can immediately access. Hypertext links assist readers move within a single document itself or through a collection of documents that comprise an article and can help them to navigate within a document to find related sources that are found within the document or on an internet. So editors normally see if the inclusion of the hyperlink is relevant to the point that is being addressed in the article. They also focus on the word or words chosen as the hyperlink text. Should provide a clear indication of where the link will go. That's what I said. If I'm browsing for Golconda, that hyperlink should not go and land up in Charminar. If the author wants to include links that are not directly related to select section of articles, they may place them either at the bottom of the article or the footnote. So where should the hyperlink be? It should either be in the bottom of the article or in the either a footnote or as an appendix. Okay. Next is a graphics. Where to use graphics in your journal? E-journal. Graphics have become a commonplace in almost all journals, and it is difficult to imagine a journal, particularly e-journal, without a graphics. So pictures and figures can accompany print articles as well as electronic articles. Particularly, we find a number of color graphics and also animated graphics. An article's appeal can be enhanced by presenting a series of pictures illustrating a point, and it is often said that picture worth more than 1,000 words. As we just talked about in starting of the session, a picture worth more than 1,000 words. Okay. Next is audio and video. So what we thought the e-journal should contain hypertext links, graphics, and then is audio and video. Audio and video set the e-journal apart from a traditional print journals. This feature is a unique feature to electronic journals when compared to print journals. Providing the audio and video inputs as an appendage to the text of an article can enhance its appeal and adds punch to the article. When authors want to include audio or video segment along with the text, they should provide either a tapped material or an electronic file. At times, the audio or video of a speech, lecture, interview, etc. is presented independently without any article to support it. In both the cases, it's prudent to keep a clip short, a few minutes or less. Several file formats such as format can be used. If the segment is long and graphic animation intensive, it could be presented in a streaming medium such as through a Windows media or a real media. Next is internal emails. Internal email is electronic mail that can be read or sent from inside an online room. In a large organization with many employees, there is frequently an internal email system. Sending internal emails is a key line of communication for many companies. It enables employers to notify their employees of upcoming company events, product launches, HR changes, foster relationships with employees. Internal emails have replaced memos or intended for internal company distribution, and normally they deal with companies' business-related activities. It is therefore important to follow certain guidelines while writing an internal email. So internal emails, as we talked about, it is very useful in any organization to convey some message to all the employees. So how effectively it should reach, but we should follow some guidelines while writing it. What are those? General principles for writing an internal email is when we write an email, we try to provide information to one or more people. Since most people's time is generally limited, the information should be kept short. Since you are writing for business purpose, try to address the point directly. So there should not be like all story type, but should directly hit the what. Only this point, what is to be conveyed in only should be written in that. There is no need to write an introduction or a lead paragraph as an individual to whom the mail is addressed. May already know the background, because when the employer is addressing some mails, all the employer is addressing these mails to employees. He know like what he is employee, like who is giving that mail. So he need not introduce himself. He can he can straightly write the point what he wants to. However, send by email attachment appropriate amount of supporting details or documentation if needed. Always suggest the text course of action or steps that needed to be taken if indeed or come up with a firm or decisive conclusions. The subject line should contain the email core or essence of the subject matters. Also include any important dates such as deadlines or meeting dates, if pertinent. So, and if employers giving that some employment mails to employees on some assignment or some closure of some project, they should write in the subject that we should end the project by and so date. So it should be specific. And they should also mark CC. So line is optional and a good way to keep others informed as for your information, FYI. What this is all about, the general principles of writing, and what the body of the email should be is the now. State clearly why you are writing the email, preferably in the opening paragraph itself. Bring out the problem or issue that is being addressed straight away in a plain and a straightforward manner. Do not indulge in roundabout expression or complex sentences or words that are likely to be misinterpreted. Provide detailed information and the required data in support of the problem or issue under discussion or the purpose for your email. At the end of the email, summarize whatever your opinions or findings and discuss the next step that needed to be followed. If the response or action is needed from any of the people receiving the email, be sure to highlight this need in your summary. Include due dates or a time frames there. Like if it's a common mail to all the employees, but I want few employees to come back to me on certain aspect, just write in the down line, so and so, please come back to me and so date with these details. You have to highlight and write in the down line, down para. So watch for your spellings or spelling errors can send a wrong message. About the person, about the professionalism of a sender, always set your spell check on to automatically check each mail before it is sent. Conclude the email by signing off with the proper gestures. Most email programs like MS Outlook allow you to create an automatic signature that will be inserted at the bottom of it. So every mail should go with your signature. Okay, that should have again this thanks and regards. Then you write your name and all those. Okay. Include your name, title, company name, and contact information. If your company requires confidentiality state, make sure to add the same at the end of the email. Confidentiality thing is now it is almost mandatory for any of the organization to keep that. So next is compiling an internal email list. Electronic mailing list is a special usage of email which allows a widespread distribution of information to a large number of users like members of an organization, potential customers, subscribers, sample audience for the survey. There are many different kinds of lists, including consumers or business lists, internal or external lists, compiled or direct response lists. An internal list might consist of customers, prospects, vendors, employers, or elapsed customers. Compiling an internet email list of employees and compiling an internet email list of customers, vendors, and electronic mailing list services, internet security issues. Now, what is internet security issue? Mail list, what is internet security issue? Technologies and inventions are user neutral and they do not distinguish a friend or a foe or an angel or a devil. They can be used for the benefit of the society as well as for the detriment of the same. Social mores and government regulation control the misuse of technology and enhance its benefits. So the internal security issue. Internet being so extensively present, there is every likelihood of unsavory elements abusing it, causing harm to the society. So there are various harmful activities that can be carried out by using the internet. And equally, there are various means through which these can be checkmated. Definition. What is the definition of internet security? Internet security is a branch of computer security specifically related to the internet, often involving browser security, but also network security on a more general level as it applies to other applications or operating systems on a whole. Its objective is to establish rules and measures to use against attacks over the internet. So it will see that attacks on internet, cyber attacks, or how to overcome these things. So the security system is managed there. So internet represents insecure channels for exchanging information, leading to high risk of intrusion of fraud, phishing, hacking, cyber squatting, to name a few. Different methods have been used to protect the transfer of data, including encryptions. Viruses and protecting systems. Computer virus is also a program, but it is aimed at harming the computer than doing some good to computer. So a computer virus can be defined as malicious, harmful, self-replicating program, which makes the computer to malfunction. So viruses destroy the data stored in the computer. It's difficult to predict how a computer works when it is infected by a virus. Therefore, virus is sometimes defined as an acronym for vital information resources under CIS. So what are types of computer viruses? Root sector virus, file virus, macro viruses. How these micro viruses can be kept is called this by using firewalls. Okay. Torzons, these are all types of viruses, computer viruses. Armed virus, email virus, worms, sign of a virus attack. How will you get a sign of a virus attack? First, we should detect if the system has been infected. We can conclude with a great degree of certainty that system was infected if we observe the following signs. What are those? Some word files or spreadsheets get corrupted and are unreadable. We cannot read. If somebody sends in the proper format, we cannot read it. If we get mail which is not, we are unable to read, then we should have that like sign there is some virus attack. So free space in a disk and or a main memory suddenly starts reducing for no obvious reason. Strange messages start appearing on the system. The computer hangs frequently. The system suddenly slows down while doing some normal jobs. Strange files appear in the directory. Some of the files get duplicated without the knowledge of the user. The system fails to boot. So these are all signs of virus attack. So how should you protect against viruses? As we said, like antivirus softwares are there. We should install them. Antivirus softwares detect the presence of virus in a computer, and this software has to be installed in a computer. These programs generally open along with operating system and warn when file that is infected is open. There's a don't open it, it has some virus. Okay, we give some pop-up screens if the firewall is installed. They can also remove virus from the computer. The process of searching the drives and folders in a computer for virus use using antivirus software is called scanning. When the software detects a virus, it warns the user and promotes him remove the virus. All anti-software cannot detect all viruses and remove them. So firewalls, as I said, these are called firewalls. So how should we prevent the attacks? Prevention of attacks. The most important problem is how to protect the system from this malicious program. We have seen how to know the virus is attacked. We have seen how to protect it. Now we should see how to prevent it. The most important problem is how to protect the system from these malicious programs. In order to protect the computer, one must first know what the source of viruses, worms, and trojans and that prevent them from attacking the system. If they do attack, one should first know that the system is infected and then take necessary remedial measures to clean the system. Precautions to be taken are, since virus generally spreads through portable storage devices, they must be thoroughly scanned with antivirus software. If any virus is detected, it should be immediately removed. It is better not to copy any files from the infected disk. We feel that the disk is got infected. Don't ever copy the things. Try to set it up new. So it is always advisable to install a good antivirus software and activate itself every time the system is booted. Backup copy should be maintained for files containing important data. Every time, every system should have a backup thing. And in case that backup will come to rescue when the system is corrupted. So when a computer that is connected to a network is infected with a virus, it should be immediately disconnected from the network. Okay? It is better to disable the macro facility in applications that support macros. Email viruses can be prevented from spreading by deleting emails containing unknown attachments without opening them. Don't ever open the thing which you don't know. and don't ever send it to the other person. Open the attachment only if the scanner says no virus detected. Okay. So a single virus scanner cannot detect all viruses. So storage devices should be scanned with at least 2 or 3 antivirus scanners. New software must always be purchased from licensed vendors only. Usually pirated software contains virus. Never download any program from known and unauthorized websites. Even when downloading from known websites is advisable to scan the program before saving it in the computer. Install proper security patches to prevent spread of viruses through internet. Software and operating system vendors supply these patches. It's all about prevention of attacks, signs of virus attacks, protecting against virus attacks, and all these things. Now comes is a cyber law. What is cyber law? With the advent of internet and its deployment in a big way for various activities ranging from simple interpersonal communication to extensive use in a commercial activities, e-governance, and as a source of knowledge and dissemination of information, etc. The scope for its abuse or putting it to users that can be harmful to the individual. Society has also increased. Governments throughout the world have taken cognizance of this, have come up with legislations that can control the misuse of the internet and came up with the laws that govern the internet. These laws are called as the laws of internet or a cyber laws, and they govern all the activities that take place in cyberspace and deal with all the equipment or apparatus that is employed in dealing with cyberspace. So cyber laws also provide legal coverage or sanctity to activities that are carried out using internet and are helpful to the society, like electronic and digital signatures. Thus, cyber law encompasses cyber crimes, intellectual property, copyright issues, electronic digital signatures, data protection, and privacy of individual citizens and companies. In India, the Information Technology Amendment Act 2008 is a comprehensive legislation that covers all the activities of cyber world and along with the other amended enactments like the Penal Code 1860 and the Indian Evidence Act 1872, etc. Protect the netizens and also help them in taking full advantage of facilities offered by the internet. So in this chapter, what we have discussed the chapter is done. So in this chapter, what we have discussed is e-journals, how to write e-journals, in what way it is different from the printed journal, what content should go in, how we should carry on the graphics, hypertext links, and what is electronic emailing and what things to be taken care while doing it, and what is internet security issues, and how the virus is to be detected, and what care to be taken, and how the signs of a virus attacks are there, and how to prevent the attacks, all are known in this subject. Also about the cyber sports. These are all taught in this subject and in this chapter. And if we move on to the next chapter, it is on educational society or educational technology. So educational technology, what is that? Mobile technology and communication. This is a unit 9. And this consists of 3 or 9 means total we have got 12 chapters. And we are in the 9th one, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you are thorough, I will end up the session because we have enough time to discuss on more 4 chapters in 2 more classes. So to sum up and what questions we get in this cyber website thing is, explain in detail the role played by websites in internal communication. What are internet security issues? Discuss the mechanism to overcome them. These are the questions asked in this chapter. And also what is the discuss on the importance compiling an emailing list. What is an e-journal? Write a brief note on a writing for e-journal. Elaborate the importance of internal email. These are the questions asked in this chapter. Next chapters in next classes would be educational technology, which deals with mobile phone convergent technology. that is smartphones, locative media, telecommunication in India, how it emerged, and what are the various apps for journalists, what are smartphones, how to get on with the smartphones, what cameras to be taken care, what is mobile reporting tool, how a happy scribe will be, how a switcher studio would go on, and a mobile operating systems are what. These are all this will be discussed in our next chapter. And after the 10th chapter would be on creating web publications, creating how we have to create a web publication, and website hosting privacies are all looked into it, policies, and cloud hosting, reselling hosting, VP hosting, assembling a public publication website, creating online content, multimedia content, and editorial issues in website production. These all will be discussed in the next chapters. Okay. Any questions?
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.